have a feeling you can guess what time it is right now by the book in my hand. What time is it? Did you say it's bedtime? Yes, that's right. But since it is bedtime, I do have a book for you called Bedtime Stories. Little owl here on the book cover, and I made sure to find a little owl toy in case at the end of the book, if your name is Kathleen or Curtis, you get to pick one of these toys. Alright, so give that some thought. In the meantime, let's get started with one of our stories. We've got 7 in here. Starts with lots of stars. And this book, just saying that this book belongs to someone, so we're gonna have to find somebody who wants this book. I think so, right? So, Bedtime Stories. That's just showing all the stories we have in here. So let's get started, shall we? The magic pajamas. Little Bear was getting ready for bed. Your old pajamas are too small, said Mummy, so I've bought you some new ones. Little Bear didn't like his new pajamas. His old pajamas took him on magical adventures. When he went to sleep, now he wouldn't have any adventures anymore. See, he's a little worried about that. So it says here, Little Bear slipped into the new pajamas. They were surprisingly soft and cozy. He drifted off to sleep, and before long, his bed seemed to be rocking like a boat. As if from far away, he could hear the voice saying, Captain Moon welcomes you aboard the Starlight. Well, that's interesting. Guess his new jammies are not so bad after all. So Little Bear opened his eyes. He was on a pirate ship. Wow. Captain Moon gave him a real pirate hat. Then he peered through the telescope and saw a sandy island. Land ahoy, he cried. There's treasure on that island. Wow, look at that. There's treasure over there. On the island, Captain Moon showed Little Bear an old treasure map. They dug and dug until they found a chest. Little Bear gasped when he saw the glittering treasure inside. Wow. But suddenly, lots of pirates came out of nowhere. Quick, back to the ship, shouted Captain Moon. Oh, goodness. After escaping from the pirates, Captain Moon and Little Bear looked at all their wonderful treasures. Little Bear picked up a gold coin and gave a big yawn. You're a brave pirate, said Captain Moon, but the adventure is over. I think it's time to go home. When Little Bear woke up the next morning, he ran into his mummy's room. Thank you for my new pajamas, he said. They are even more magic than my old ones. I knew that they would be, said Mummy, giving him a big, lovely hug. I can't wait to be a pirate again, thought Little Bear happily. The next laughing at all the interesting things they had found that they didn't even notice that the sun was beginning to go down. Suddenly, an owl hooted in the garden. "What's that?" said Rory, pulling back the tent flap. Outside, it was starting to get dark. Rory's tummy tumbled loudly. "I'm hungry," he said, "and I'm scared of the dark. Shall we go inside?" "There's nothing to be afraid of," said a voice from the garden. It was Mummy, and she was carrying a tray of treats and drinks. While Rory and Strippy ate their sandwiches, Mummy explained that the night was full of surprises. "All sorts of things wake up at night," said Mummy, taking them outside. A fox crept quietly across the garden, and an owl hooted and bat-sitted here and there in the dark. "Look," said Rory, pointing at the sky. "The moon. The moon has woken up." "The stars have woken up too," said Strippy, looking up. Suddenly, a bright star shoots across the sky with a shimmering and dazzling light. "Wow, it's magic," cried Rory and Strippy together. "That is the first shooting star I've ever seen," said Strippy. "Look at that. Have you ever seen a shooting star? It's really cool when it happens. You gotta look in the sky and kind of look at the right time. You might see one." So, then the two friends began to yawn. "Come on," said Mommy. "It's time for bed." Rory and Strippy agreed. They had enjoyed their seeing night, but being snuggled up in bed with their teddies all safe and warm was even better. Next story. Should we continue? If you're getting tired, it's okay. I can put it down for another day. No, okay, you're still not quite tired yet. Okay, that's okay. So this one's called Squirrel's Bedtime. It was bedtime, but Rusty Squirrel was far too excited to sleep. His mommy and daddy had gone out, and Curly Cat had come over to babysit. Curly told Rusty to put his pajamas on, but Rusty just wanted to play and have some fun instead. Rusty went upstairs, but when he came back down, he was wearing an enormous pair of pajamas and giggling. "Those look like your daddy's pajamas, silly," said Curly, laughing. "Go and put on your own pajamas, and then come down for your milk." Those jammies are massive on him, aren't they? I agree. I think they're his dad's. When he had put his own pajamas on, Rusty crept into the kitchen and grabbed a cookie. Just as he was about to sneak another one from the jar, Curly Cat appeared with a glass of milk. "No more cookies. Rusty," she cried, "it's time for bed." Rusty still wasn't ready to settle down in bed. He wanted to play hide and seek. He raced upstairs, giggling, and jumped inside his toy cupboard, pulling the door closed behind him. "Curly Cat will never found him in here," he whispered. "What a naughty squirrel we've got here. Sounds like somebody I know. Maybe named Helena or Curtis." exactly how to find Rusty, though. Coming into his room, she said in an extra loud voice, "There won't be time for a bedtime story if I don't find Rusty soon." Rusty didn't want to miss his story. He leapt out from his hiding place quickly, yelling, "Boo!" "Come on, it's time to get into bed," said Curly Cat, laughing. Rusty climbed into his bed and snuggled down. Curly Cat had only read one page of his bedtime story when he fell fast asleep. Trying to stay up past his bedtime had been a very tiring thing indeed. Are you still awake over there? Oh, sorry, I think I just woke you. Did you want another story? Yeah, okay. The Bunny Rescue. At the park, Fluffy Bunny wanted to go on the whizzy roundabout, but Hoppy Bunny wanted to play on the climbing frame. They could not agree on what to do. "The roundabout is boring," said Hoppy as he scampered away. Do you guys have a favorite one? Do you like that climbing up the thing or that little whirly thing? Yeah, the whirly one is fun. Yeah, the climbing one's fun too. So, Fluffy whizzed around on the roundabout with the other bunnies, but when they got off, the roundabout soon slowed down and it stopped. "Come and push me," said Hoppy. But when he looked around, Hoppy had disappeared. Well, it's hard to get this thing moving by yourself, isn't it? It doesn't move unless somebody's pushing it. So, "I'm up here," yelled a voice. Fluffy looked up and suddenly saw Hoppy waving to her from the very top of the climbing frame. "Come down and play on the roundabout, please," said Fluffy. "I want to, but I'm stuck," cried Hoppy. The climbing frame was very high and Hoppy was too scared to move. He needed Fluffy's help to get down. Carefully, she climbed all the way to the top of the frame and reached out to him. What do you think's gonna happen? Together, the friends slowly climbed back down to the ground. "Whew! I thought I was going to be stuck up there forever," said Hoppy, hugging Fluffy tightly. "Come on, let's go play on the roundabout instead." As they whistled around on the roundabout, Hoppy said, "Thanks for saving me, Fluffy. I couldn't have done it by myself." "Well, that's what friends are for," said Fluffy. "So much more fun playing together anyway." Isn't that true, guys? It is much more fun when you guys are playing together. Our next story, Mouse's First Sleepover. Mouse was very excited. It was her first sleepover at her grandparents' house, and they had just finished reading bedtime stories. "Good night, sleep tight," said Grandma, kissing her and switching off the light. Mouse settled down in a bed, but the room seemed so different to her bedroom at home that she didn't like the dark. "I'm scared," she squeaked quietly, and then she began to cry. Grandpa and Grandma heard and came back to give her a hug. Poor little Mousie. "Don't worry," said Grandma. "I have something in the attic that might help." Together they climbed a little ladder into the dusty attic. It was packed full of wood boxes and funny old a dolly with woolly hair and a bouncy jack-in-the-box that sprang up with a boing when Mouse lifted the lid. "These toys belonged to your mommy," said Grandma, "and so did these." Grandma held up the teddy bear made of colored glass. Wow, a teddy bear made of glass. Not nothing, but anyways. "That teddy doesn't look cuddly," said Mouse. "What is it for?" "Go back to bed and you'll find out," said Grandma, with a wink. So Mouse followed Grandma back down the ladder. She ran into her room and jumped into bed. Grandma put the teddy next to the bed and flicked the switch behind it. Suddenly, the room was full of a soft pink light. "Wow," said the Mouse, looking at her new night light and smiling happily. "I will never be afraid of the dark again." Soon, she was fast asleep. "Good night, Mouse," said Grandma. That's so sweet, huh? A cute little story. The story's called All the Fun of the Fair. The fair was in town, and Cuddly Monkey's daddy had brought her along as a treat. On the carousel, she held on tight to her horse and giggled as they went up and down. Daddy waved from the side as Cuddly went around and around. Fairs are a lot of fun. Expensive though. When Cuddly spotted her, Skelter, she scampered up to the top and whistled all the way down, shouting, "Whee!" Suddenly, she reached the bottom with a bump. Daddy was waiting there to give Cuddly a stick of bright pink candy floss. Oh, awesome. Munching their candy floss, Cuddly and Daddy went into the Hall of Mirrors. They shrieked with laughter at their funny reflections in the mirrors and made lots of silly faces. Cuddly was short and wobbly, but Daddy was tall as a giant. On the ghost train, Cuddly was very brave as they chugged past spooky bats and spiders. Suddenly, a ghost popped out with a loud boo. Cuddly and Daddy both jumped, and Cuddly sticky candy floss went all over Daddy's face. All the candy, what a waste. Next, Daddy took Cuddly on the Ferris wheel. Slowly moved around, lifting them high into the air. Cuddly could see all of the flashing lights brightly below. She leaned against Daddy, happily watching the fair and yawning as the sun set. What a wonderful night. It had been a very lovely day, but Cuddly felt sleepy. Daddy talked about what they would do the next time after the fair was in town, but Cuddly didn't hear. He was falling asleep on his shoulder, dreaming of candy floss and all the fun of the fair. Well, I think we might have one story left tonight. At least one. Spotty Puppy Explores. Spotty Puppy had a brand new explorer's outfit. "I'm going on an adventure, Mommy," he called as he dashed out of the door. "Don't get too dirty. Back before it gets dark," called Mommy. But Spotty wasn't listening. He was already on his way. Something was hissing near the hedge. "Maybe it's a snake," said Spotty, creeping closer and closer. "Got you," he shouted, grabbing the hissing thing. but it just squirted water at him. Ugh, cried Spotty. I'm all wet. It's not a snake at all. It's a garden hose. Spotty was drying himself off when he saw something wiggling among the flowers. Maybe it's a tiger, he said, crawling closer and closer. He reached out and grabbed the wiggly thing tightly. Meow, the wiggly thing cried, jumping up in fright. Spotty had grabbed hold of the cat's tail, and he got such a shock, he stumbled backwards and landed splat in the very muddy puddle. Oh no, cried Spotty. Now I'm all wet, and I'm dirty. It was getting dark, so Spotty decided to go back inside. He pushed his way through the bushes just as Mummy was opening the door. Ah! She cried when she saw him. It's a monster. Then Mummy realized it was Spotty. He was all muddy and covered in leaves. Spotty, you've given me such a fright, she said, laughing. You look more like a jungle monster than an explorer. Come on, let's get you into a nice warm bath. Soon, Spotty was splashing in a lovely bubble bath. He played with his yellow duck and his submarine. I love being an explorer, he said. Tomorrow, I'm gonna find a real jungle monster. Of course you are, said Mummy, and she gave Spotty a big hug. The end. Alright. Now, close your eyes. Okay, the two of you go to sleep. You've had lots of books today, and I promise I will have another book for you to read next Monday at 9 a.m. Alright, and if you get bored, you can always watch my other videos again. And remember, by the way, if your name is Elaine or Curtis, I've got a little toy for here for each of you to pick out. So, let me know, because they all want a home eventually. Alright. Okay. Good night, guys. And thank you so much for taking care of my little baby Bella. I appreciate it. You've been so sweet to her, and she's loving visiting you.